Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at noon.
Now at noon, cashing in on the high price of meat, the settlement with processors that could mean money for you.
And from the NFL back to college ball, what Chip Kelly will be doing for the Northwestern Wildcats.
It is calm and cold outside, but we could see some snow on New Year's Eve. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Sylvia Perez.
I'm Anthony Ponce in for Natalie Baumke. All eyes on the forecast for tomorrow. Caitlin, Cody, I know a lot of folks are going to be flocking downtown.
Millions, right?
Wow.
Yes. What are they going to be contending with?
It's going to be cold. Tomorrow night, cold. We have the chance for some light snow as well, but the bigger story is going to be the temperature because at midnight, I expect to be in the teens with lows that night. So we're talking about tomorrow night down to about 10. For today, we actually have some snow coming down, light snow covering DeKalb County, LaSalle County, Lake McHenry County, portions of Kane and Kendall, northern Cook County now getting in on the light snow too. This isn't going to lead to much accumulation. We expect the better chance for accumulating snowfall to be here this afternoon, perhaps a couple tenths of an inch. I will say this though, untreated surfaces could get slick fast because take a look at these temperatures. Right now, we're sitting at 18 degrees at the lakefront and O'Hare, 19 at Midway and Gary, 21 in Joliet, 22 at LaSalle. So it is cold outside with the feel like temperature even worse, down to 5 at the lakefront. So bundle up. As mentioned, it is going to be cold tomorrow as well as on Thursday. We'll talk about that next round of snow expected tomorrow with a better chance of accumulating snowfall. And we'll take a look at your 70 forecast ahead.
All right. Thanks for that, Caitlin. We will bundle up, no doubt. Well, snow or not, people are going to be celebrating. Chicago's New Year's Eve celebrations bring huge crowds downtown every year.
Roseanne Tejas tells us all about tomorrow's big party.
Yes, some of the festivities will be broadcast nationally, putting Chicago in the spotlight. Huge crowds are expected to gather for the free events all along the river. It kicks off with a special projection on the Merchandise Mart at 7 p.m. Performances beginning at 9 on the main stage include DJ Mike Dunn, blues singer Shamika Copeland, and Chance the Rapper, ringing in the new year. Fireworks will light up the river both near the Art on the Mart and Navy Pier. And while it may be the biggest party in town, there will be parties all over town.
At 9 p.m., we'll start having the music acts, and those are two house DJs, DJ Mike P. and DJ Mike Dunn. That'll be followed by Jay Ivey, an award-winning spoken artist and Grammy Award winner. At 11:50, the drone show starts, and then the countdown on Art on the Mart, and then the fireworks right at midnight after the countdown. And those will be from Orleans Street down to Columbus. All the bridges will be lighting up fireworks and then Chance and DJ Mike P will finish out the night again.
Officials say they intend to enforce a 10 p.m. curfew for anyone under 18 who is not out with their parent. Well, here's a wonderful option for you, and you can do this from your own couch at home. Join Fox 32's Anita Blanton and Jake Hamilton at Tao Chicago Nightclub, or you could join them at the nightclub in person. All the fun starts at 10 p.m. You can catch it on Fox 32 or Fox Local, and they have special guests including Bun B, Cupid, Cleo Fox, and more. From the Chicago River, Roseanne Tejas, Fox Chicago.
Thank you, Roseanne. And New York is getting ready for the big party there. Security already stepped up. New York's mayor says, Eric Adams says the city is well prepared to keep the area safe, but they need help from people attending.
We will have plainclothes K-9 teams, officers on horsebacks, on our trains, subway stations, and in helicopters and on boats. Pedestrians and vehicle closures will be in effect. There will be officers in and out of uniform, keeping their eyes open. We're going to do our part. We need you to do your part. If you see something, say something, and most importantly, do something. Notify one of the officers that are there.
The iconic event runs on a first-come, first-served basis, so people will be lining up early, as you can imagine. We're going to have more on the security plan coming up later in the hour. The Chicago Board of Education decides to raise property taxes after a secret meeting that's raising some pretty big questions. This move raises the property taxes by $25 million, the maximum amount allowed under state law. The school board members in favor hope this and a record amount of TIF surplus money will help balance its budget. Others say it comes at a time where Chicago families are already dealing with some pretty high costs.
Today's levy vote is an investment in our children and the future of Chicago Public Schools, and I will always vote to fund our schools.
This is something that, even if it is $16 on my home, it is something that lots of families can't afford, and it just adds to the compounding effect of the large increases in their taxes.
School Board President Sean Harden has vowed to force the resignation of any board member who leaks information about Monday's meeting.
A news alert this noon about recalled ground beef. It's being pulled from shelves in 16 different states due to possible E. coli contamination. The beef is made by Mountain West Food Group that is based in Idaho. This recall affects more than 2,800 pounds of raw 90-10 ground beef. The Department of Agriculture says the Forward Farms grass-fed ground beef items produced back on December 16th. They're packed in 16-ounce packages. They were shipped to distributors in California, Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Pennsylvania, and Washington State, and then sent to stores across the country. Speaking of beef here, you may be able to get some money back if you bought certain cuts of beef. A lawsuit over alleged collusion between meat processors has resulted in an $87.5 million settlement. Now, in order to get the cash, you do have to have bought beef made from chuck loin, rib, or round primal cuts between August 1st, 2014 and December 31st of 2019. You can get more details. Log on to overchargeforbeef.com. We have put a link to that website on our website, and we should mention that meat processing companies including JBS, Cargill National Beef, and Tyson Food deny the claims that they colluded with one another to increase the price of beef.
3 men are facing felony charges after they were caught on camera burglarizing a freight train in Chicago. This happened in Inglewood. The morning of December 19th, a third person was caught speeding away in a minivan. Freight train thefts have been an issue for police in Chicago and Cook County. We have seen instances of cases dating back over the past 2 years. A man is facing multiple charges in a crash that left 2 Chicago police officers injured. 18-year-old Orlando Matos III is charged with 2 counts of felony aggravated reckless driving. The officers were heading south on Racine in Wrigleyville when they say the car ran a stop sign. They also say that car was stolen.
St. Sabina is enforcing bag checks after a shooting sent 3 people to the hospital. This happened right outside the church during an adult basketball game on Sunday. Chicago police say it started with an argument inside the gym, and when everyone went outside, somebody pulled out a gun, shot into the crowd. 3 men were hit. Father Michael Flager says he hopes that someone knows something and then turns the shooter in.
I don't like anybody having to go to jail or prison. Let me tell you something. When you shoot somebody, you need to go to jail. So, you know, I'm just hoping that that people turn into people who did it. I know the police have excellent video. I'm confident that they're going to find out also. But I just know that you're not going to shoot around here and feel like nothing happens.
All right, for the time being, St. Sabina is now suspending the basketball league until further notice.
Cases of flu skyrocketing today. Cook County Public Health says it has seen a huge spike in flu cases, and the numbers are continuing to rise. Their data showing emergency room visits associated with the flu tripled the week before Christmas. This is a problem that we're seeing across the country, due in part to the new variant called H3N2 and some pretty low vaccination rates.
Do worry that when we see a new variant, it does tend to mean that that has escaped our immunity to some extent.
Health experts say this new severe strain tends to be more infectious, and even though the variation isn't included in this season's vaccine formulation, experts are urging people to get the flu shot.
Big news for Northwestern. The football fans there, the team will be hiring veteran coach Chip Kelly to be the new offensive coordinator. The The Raiders hired Kelly in November, fired him just 11 games later. Kelly previously coached at Oregon and UCLA. He also coached for the Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers.
More to come on Fox 32 News at noon. An update in the death of famed Hollywood actor and filmmaker Rob Reiner. The latest action from a judge in Los Angeles.
And more changes will likely be made to the childhood vaccine schedule in the coming year. Coming up, how it could mean less shots for kids.
Mom-in-law has more lawyers than any other.
Welcome back. President Trump is looking to broker peace between Ukraine and Russia here in the new year, while also pushing for the second phase of the Israel-Gaza peace plan.
Fox's Caroline Shadowy reports on the latest in the negotiations.
President Trump pushing for peace, hosting Ukraine's President Zelensky and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu at separate meetings at Mar-a-Lago this week. In Israel, Trump wants to move into phase 2 of his peace plan, despite Israeli troops remaining in half of Gaza and Hamas refusing to disarm.
If they don't disarm, as they agreed to do, they agreed to it, and then they'll be held to pay for them. And we don't want that.
Phase 2 would include forming a temporary Palestinian government and the start of reconstruction of the devastated Gaza Strip.
This plan calls for de-radicalizing Gaza, bringing in international troops, and this, I'm afraid, may take some U.S. planning and organizing.
In Ukraine, the fighting continues nearly 4 years since the Russian invasion. Zelensky says he and Trump made progress toward a peace deal at their meeting Sunday, but had a warning about promises from Russian President Vladimir Putin.
I don't trust Putin, and he doesn't want success for Ukraine.
On Tuesday, the Kremlin said it would toughen its negotiating stance, accusing Ukraine of launching a drone strike on a Russian presidential palace. Zelensky denies the attack.
I agree with Zelensky. This is likely a fabrication by Putin.
Another key goal of the White House is a Putin-Zelensky phone call. It's been more than 5 years since the two leaders have spoken. In Washington, Caroline Shadowy, Fox Chicago.
Other news, a Los Angeles Superior Court judge has blocked the release of Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner's autopsy reports. This is according to the LA Times. The police department requested the order to prevent information from leaking to the public. Prosecutors claim Reiner's 32-year-old son, Nick, fatally stabbed his parents at their home earlier this month. He is expected to enter a plea on January 7th and could face life in prison or the death penalty if he is convicted.
President Trump is ramping up pressure on Venezuela, ordering a strike along the shoreline for the first time. The president says the strike destroyed a dock where he claims boats were being loaded up with drugs. This is all coming a day after the military says it attacked a boat accused of smuggling drugs in the eastern Pacific Ocean. That strike killed 2 people on board.
The National Weather Service confirms 3 tornadoes hit central Illinois during Sunday's severe weather outbreak. A single EF2 tornado tore through Christian, Macon, and Piatt counties, traveling nearly 24 miles total, that one. And then an EF1 twister touched down in Tazewell County. That's about 3 miles east of the town of Pekin. And then finally an EF0 touched down just southeast of the town of Redmond. Thankfully, nobody was hurt.
Let's take a live look outside. Looking overcast out there, and it is cold. How cold is it, Caitlin?
It's going to feel like we could be in the teens through the whole day. But we also have snow now coming down throughout Chicagoland. So that's adding an additional layer of wintry activity for us. With that being said, it is light snow, but we still could have slick spots out there, especially on untreated surfaces, as the actual temperature is in the teens now, low 20s for some. But let's take a look at the radar. Currently, as mentioned, what we're seeing is light blue, indicating flurries for the most part. We may see around 1/10 or 2 of an inch of snowfall with this first round. As we get into the afternoon, that's when we have the better potential for accumulating snowfall, but even still, minimal impacts as far as snow accumulation goes. Just take it slow if you see this snow coming down, though, because it could freeze. Lake County, McHenry, DeKalb County covered with that light blue color. Kane County now, too. Most of LaSalle, all the way down to Grundy County, there is some light snow. Where you see the darker blue shades, we are seeing moderate snowfall at times, especially in our far western areas. But as we take a look just west of Chicagoland, this is where the snow is coming down heavier. The darker the blue color, the heavier the snow is falling. And this is expected to pivot into Chicagoland this afternoon into this evening. But as far as accumulation goes, up to 1 inch expected. Some of us are going to see some accumulation, others no accumulation. Temperatures, though, we are all getting in on the cold. I mentioned the teens and low 20s. Right now, we're sitting at 18 at the lakefront and O'Hare, but I do see a 21 there in Joliet, 22 at LaSalle. Northwest Indiana, temperatures hovering in the upper teens. Highs today staying in the 20s. It's going to be cold really through the end of the week and this weekend. I'll show you that full 70 forecast, including the all-important New Year's Eve forecast ahead.
Thank you, Caitlin. Well, have you ever heard someone tell you that they know the weather is changing because they feel it in their bones? They're not making that up. Health professionals call it the pain index. High or low barometric pressure can cause tissue around your joints to expand, causing that pain. Changes in pressure can also lead to migraines and fatigue. But there are some things you can do to manage it.
Think about mobilization, anti-inflammatories, heat, changing your, external clothing with warm packs, trying, home remedies like ointments that can help with inflammation, anti-inflammatory foods. All these things can help and prevent an actual flare.
Changes in pressure can also impact your inner ear and make you nauseous.
The IRS has updated retirement contribution limits, including for your IRAs and 401ks. For those who contribute to their 401ks, 403bs, or federal 457 plans, and the thrift savings plans, your contribution limit is increasing by $1,000. That will set your maximum contribution amount at $24,500. The IRA contribution limit will increase by $500, so that now sits at $7,500. The Department of Health and Human Services plans to revamp the entire childhood vaccine schedule in the new year. It says that'll result in fewer shots. The Advisory Committee on Childhood Vaccines met to discuss these changes yesterday, and during the meeting, CDC officials emphasized the importance of immunizations for children.
Basically 30-year period from 1994 to 2023, which CDC estimated that vaccination of children born during that time prevented more than 500 million illnesses, avoided more than 1 million deaths.
The exact changes haven't been announced quite yet. That's expected to come out sometime in the new year. Obviously, we will keep you posted.
A new poll revealing what parents' top concerns in 2025 were. The CS Mott Children's Hospital at the University of Michigan asked parents about bullying, internet safety, and a lack of physical activity. That poll found they were most concerned about social media, screen time, and internet safety.
Accurate.
Right? Coming up next, step up security in New Orleans for New Year's Eve.
Yes, police there taking no chances after last year's deadly attack on Bourbon Street. We're going to have an update on the new security measures.
And a resale shop in the suburbs ransacked the coordinated heist caught on camera.
He must be Doc Martin.
Dr. Beth.
Shiny ball is set, and the confetti, there you see it. It's been tested. It works.
Hey.
Sylvia, it's
Yay.
functioning confetti. So, yeah, New York is ready to ring in 2026. Of course, Big Apple hosts one of the biggest New Year's parties in the whole world.
You do stay up to watch that?
I typically don't. I think I make it almost there. Yeah.
Right?
Got to work the next day. Kids.
I know, right? Kids and the whole schedule and everything. But police out there are now outlining some pretty big plans to keep everybody safe. Fox's Gernal Scott has more on the tight security.
People across the country are getting ready to ring in 2026. But while celebrations are top of mind for revelers, authorities are focused on safety.
Americans should go out. They should celebrate this great year we've had, be with friends and family, but just be aware of your surroundings.
Security has always stepped up this time of year, but federal and local law enforcement across the country are being even more vigilant, especially after the FBI thwarted an alleged bomb plot earlier this month. 4 members of an extremist group were arrested for planning coordinated New Year's Eve bombings across Los Angeles.
These bombs were to blow up at the same time on midnight this New Year's Eve.
Not lost on authorities, last year's terror attack in New Orleans. Hours into the new year, an ISIS-linked attacker drove a truck into a crowd, killing 14. A good reminder, they say, no matter where you're celebrating, be vigilant.
People should be aware of their surroundings. It sounds a little trite, but if you see something, say something, you can really make a difference.
Millions are expected to pack Times Square, where security preparations are underway. There is no specific threat at this time, but law enforcement is taking every precaution.
People come here to bring in the new year. And it is our job to make sure they're able to do that in a level of safety.
In New York, Gernal Scott, Fox News.
New Orleans will see a heavy security presence 1 year after the deadly attack on Bourbon Street. Last New Year's Day, 14 people were killed in a terror attack when a 42-year-old man drove a rented pickup truck around several blocks and then right through a crowd. The stepped-up security will include National Guard troops deployed to the city by the Trump administration. The mayor and other city officials say they welcome the Guard patrols.
Appears that we're going to have close to 800 law enforcement downtown and in the French Quarter, and I think that that's going to be outstanding. You're going to see an incredible visual presence in the French Quarter and throughout downtown over the rest of this week.
The National Guard will be in the city through Mardi Gras on Tuesday, February 17th.
A second actor who worked on a Tyler Perry movie is now suing the filmmaker, accusing him of sexual assault. Mario Rodriguez is now seeking $77 million in damages. He claims that Perry used his power to make sexual advances toward him multiple times between 2016 and 2019. Rodriguez is also suing Lionsgate for allegedly turning a blind eye. A similar lawsuit was filed in June. Meantime, Tyler Perry's team says this is a, quote, money grab. Up next for us, a theft with some real muscle. How police uncovered 25,000 pounds of stolen protein powder out in the suburbs.
And tapping into the dark side of the moon, the Adler Planetarium channels Pink Floyd in a popular way. How cool is that? Making a comeback. We'll explain.
Happy New Year from
Welcome back, everybody. Here's what some of the top stories we're following for you this afternoon.
Stage is set. Chicago is getting ready to ring in the new year, and there will be plenty of fun happening across the Windy City. Several live events, including that huge art display on the Merchandise Mart, a drone show, and live performances from a number of different artists. Shamikia Copeland, Chance the Rapper. Police say there will be a strictly enforced curfew, though, 10 p.m. for anyone under the age of 18 that is not accompanied by a parent.
A luxury retail store in Barrington is missing nearly all of its inventory after it was burglarized. This is Restyle Designers in Barrington on South Cook Street. You can see a group of people breaking into that store early Sunday morning and grabbing everything off the shelves. No one's been arrested and none of the stolen items recovered.
All right, you may be able to get a little money back if you bought certain cuts of beef. A lawsuit over alleged collusion between meat processors has resulted in an $87.5 million settlement. Now, in order to get any of the cash, you have to have bought beef made from chuck lion, rib, or round primal cuts between August 1st, 2014 and December 31st of 2019. The link for more details is on our website.
Now, what's the likelihood you saved a receipt?
I know, exactly. From 5 years ago. Oh,
Right?
there it is.
Yeah, I save all of my receipts.
Maybe there's some way to do it if you go to that
How,
link.
though, right?
That's a
Okay,
good
well, we'll
question.
find out. Okay, let's take this live look outside because right now it's cold out there. It's pretty calm. It's still going to be cold when New Year's Eve comes, and all these people are out there, but it's definitely not going to be calm. Caitlin, they are expecting so many people to converge on the Riverwalk to see the fireworks.
You know, it's Chicago, New Year's Eve. You expect it. The chill. It is going to be
bundle up.
cold. Absolutely. Don't be embarrassed. Wear all the layers. You want to be comfortable. Today, we are talking about the chill, but also the snow. We have snow coming down now, moderate in Lake County, northern DeKalb County, portions of Kane County. The rest of us, you can see mostly light blue shades indicating just some flurry activity. So as we take a closer look behind me, again, Lake County starting to see that darker blue shade indicating that you might be picking up a bit of accumulation. Same thing as we head out to DeKalb and Kane County. McHenry, mostly light snow flurries happening. Heading further south, western LaSalle County, some more moderate snowfall. Kane, Kendall, Grundy County, just some light snow. We're not going to have much accumulation happening with this first round. We could see a couple tenths of an inch, perhaps up to an inch possible. As you can see, the darker blue colors just west of us, with that heavier snow headed our direction this afternoon and evening. Temperatures outside now, most of us are in the upper teens and low 20s. Over the next 12 hours, the wind chill feel-like temperature staying in the teens. It's going to be a cold day start to finish. And tonight, temperatures are actually going up. We're going to have temperatures increasing as we head into tomorrow, which is great. But we have the chance for snow returning too. So our futurecast for today, again, temperatures are going to be peaking in the mid-20s, feeling like we could be in the teens. Tonight, climbing to the upper 20s, and tomorrow, cracking into the 30s. Low 30s expected for us in Chicago, with that chance for some snow in the afternoon and evening. Tomorrow, that's when we have the better potential for an inch or two of snowfall. As we round the lake, that's where there is some leftover snow, especially in LaPorte and Berrien County. As we head on into New Year's Day, it's going to be dry. We're going to have some sunshine, but the cold temperatures are back. So here's our future cast. Talking about those temperatures, today in the 20s, tomorrow is going to be chilly in the 20s as well. For most, low 30s for us in Chicago, as I just showed, but we do have that chance for snow. So we could see slick roads out there. I want you to take it slow today and tomorrow before high pressure builds in, drying things out for New Year's Day. So talking about New Year's Eve, we do have that chance for a little bit of snow, as I showed you on our maps, but we're not going to have a ton of accumulation. Today, under an inch expected for most. Tomorrow, that's where we could see that 1 to 2 inch range, but it will be drying out by around midnight Wednesday night. Temperatures will be in the mid-teens by the time the ball drops. Lows around 10, and then Thursday's high only 23, 27 expected for Friday, and then this weekend around 30 Saturday, mid-30s expected on Sunday to wrap up the weekend. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Caitlin. An unusual bust by the Cook County Sheriff's Office.
Investigators uncovered more than 25,000 pounds worth of stolen whey protein powder. It was found at a warehouse in Bridgeview during a cargo theft investigation. This powder is actually valued more than $500,000 is what it's worth. The investigation started earlier this month when a supply chain company contacted the Sheriff's Department to report that a large shipment of Seek protein powder went missing.
So the bad guy in the middle of this, he clones your order, and he clones the shipping order, the bill of lading, and he takes the order in the process. And now he sends the order that he cloned to the driver. The driver has no clue. So now your order, instead of going to you, it's going to another location. And in the midst of that location, the bad guy sells your order into the warehouse that we recovered the coffee from in Melrose Park. So you never receive your order.
The Retail Crime Unit is continuing to gather information to try to build a theft case.
The Illinois State Fair is stepping into the future. It's going digital. Tickets for next year's fair will now be available to purchase and download to your phone. Tickets are already on sale. The Illinois State Fair will be August 13th through the 23rd. As for the grandstand performers, so far only 2 names have been announced. Country music stars Lainey Wilson and Ella Langley.
Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon is making a comeback at the Adler Planetarium. Stems from a partnership with the band and the International Planetarium Society to honor the 50th anniversary of the album back in 2023. That anniversary was so popular that now it will be back at Adler. This is starting on New Year's Day, on Thursday. The show will play every day at the museum as the last show of the day.
There's a nice scientific through line to the visuals, sort of telling a story of human exploration, starting with the Apollo missions back in the 60s and 70s, the moon landings, then moving up to sort of the space station, present day, and a little bit of a maybe hypothetical future with where humans have explored Mars. So there's a nice astronomical tie into the visuals as well. So we produce our own shows here at the Adler. We think we do a pretty good job. We license them to planetariums all around the world. This show was made by a different production house, NSC Creative in Leicester in the UK, but they're one of the best people in the world at doing this. They've put together, it's a treat for the eyes to accompany the treat for the ears.
How cool. Tickets for that show can be bought in addition to the museum entry ticket. For Illinois residents, there are some free museum entry days coming up, and you can check those out over on the Adler website.
Ooh, I want to see this so bad.
Me too. It looks fun. All right, it is almost time for the iconic Rose Parade as well to officially kick off the 2026 Rose Bowl.
But there are still a few more final touches to put into place, so we're heading over to Pasadena to get a look at all the gorgeous floats just ahead.
Bring on the roses. The Rose Parade is getting ready to bloom out in Pasadena ahead of the Rose Bowl game between the Indiana Hoosiers and Alabama. But before the parade comes marching in, some important votes have to be cast. Fox's Mario Ramirez is in Pasadena with more.
Listen to this, a fun fact. Some of the largest floats here for the Rose Parade will carry tens of thousands of roses just like this, and they're all equipped with their own vial of water to keep them fresh. Now, we're inside of a warehouse where 16 of the more than 30 floats are made, and every single inch of these floats, this one, the Honda float, has to be covered with natural materials. We're talking coconut shavings. Not sure what this blue part's going to be, but when I say every inch, I mean every inch. This guy here, this racer, he's got to be covered with coconut shavings and lots of glue. Now, there's a rendering here right in front to show you what it looks like, or what it will look like when it's all done. It features their new E-Quad delivery vehicle, a zero-emission electrical cargo vehicle, and Bishop Briggs is actually going to be performing alongside this float with dancers surrounding. Now, take a look, because I mentioned that we're inside this warehouse, and you can see some of the other floats. What's going to be happening today is Judging Day. Well, we first got about 2,000 volunteers that are going to be coming through today, and then judges will vote these entries in 3 big areas: float design, floral presentation, and entertainment value. And then on parade morning, the awards will be announced before the parade even starts, and the floats will be led by banners showing what they've won and which ones impressed the judges the most. So, you know, we talked about how much of these floats is going to be covered. As a whole, they use about 18 million flowers, plus roughly 600 tons of steel and 5,000 gallons of glue to bring this all together. So, Mike, as you can imagine, it smells great in here. It's very vibrant and very colorful. And there's rain in the forecast, but they've got waterproof glue to keep this all together, and they're prepared for these floats to be a little heavier, but rain or shine, the parade is going to go on, and we're waiting for it Thursday morning, New Year's Day.
Oh, do you usually watch that?
This year, I will be glued. You know, I went to Indiana, so.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. This is a big one.
Huge. Thursday, 4 p.m.
How about it? Okay, coming up next. What's New Year's without a little bubbly, right? Well, we're talking sparkling wine and champagne with the group behind popular Chicago restaurants, including Boulevard and so many more.
Ooh, nice. Also, beer so boozy that it is banned in several states. I wonder what the ABV on this thing is.
Bring it on.
Sam Adams is releasing this product anyways. We'll explain.
Great marketing skill, huh?
I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to...
Get this, everybody. Samuel Adams has announced a beer with 30% alcohol by volume.
Wow.
Yeah, get this. According to the company,
30%?
I think it's a lot. Yeah, the ABV is so high it will be illegal in 15 states.
Oh.
Alabama, Georgia, the Carolinas, and Mississippi are just some of the states that will be banning the boozy beverage. The beer, which is called Utopia's 2025, experiments the limits of beer with aging and blending techniques. It's supposed to have notes of caramel, oak, dried fruit, subtle smoke, and citrus.
What do you think? Would you try it?
I would try a sip of it.
A sip.
I'm confused about the laws though, like banning
right?
that, but they probably sell hard liquor in those states. You know,
I think you need to investigate this.
It sounds like an investigative piece.
But you know what I want to say to you? Happy New Year! Are you celebrating or you need a hostess gift, maybe of a little bubbly? So how do you know what to buy?
Yes, we called in the support from the big guns in the form of beverage director Kyle Davidson. He is with the Day Off group. Think restaurants like Rosemary, Carciofo,
Il Carciofo, so good.
and Bar Tutto.
Yes, these are some good restaurants. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay. So, are you planning any New Year's stuff? Do you need?
I am staying home, but that doesn't. That will not preclude me from.
So you're going to educate us. So are these are some of your favorites. What is it with champagne and New Year's Eve? What is that?
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone's ever said no if you say, would you like a glass of champagne?
No. Right.
So, you know, I think it marks the holiday. It's a great start to the meal. And, you know, we brought bottles that represent each of our restaurants because we really wanted to go with the food. We wanted to enhance the meal and you know, not just be a toast and a celebration, but also, you know, as you drink it, it just makes everything taste better.
Obviously, champagne goes with everything. Right?
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know there are different levels. You could probably spend, you know, hundreds of thousands on certain bottles. Sure. Not all champagne is created equal. So talk us through what you've brought in here and some of the differences involved here.
Sure. So starting by you, that's the Tomac. So this is made in the champagne method, but it's made in Croatia. Rosemary, we're Adriatic, so it's got a nice kind of influence of the both sides of the sea, the Italian side and the Croatian side. And so this is going to give you a little bit more, being a rosé, a little bit more of the kind of red fruit and things to balance the acidity, but it's still going to just be nice and crisp and refreshing.
And I've heard these like Adriatic champagnes are really just growing. Like people are really into them.
Absolutely, yeah. So as we kind of walk down the line, you know, people are trying to kind of, if not emulate champagne, utilize those techniques. They look for places that have the same soils that give you that minerality and that crispness and the same climate. And then sometimes they'll use the same grapes also.
I love it. And
Let's keep going.
Yeah, so then we have one from Lazio. So Lazio is the state that Rome is in. And so Carciofo is a Roman restaurant. And this gentleman, Sergio Motura, he brought kind of in the other example, the grapes and techniques of Champagne to the region. Okay. And then he just, you know, fully embraced it. This wine actually sits on the, they call it the lees, but it's the yeast. It's the little organism that does all the work that makes all the flavor. They let it sit in the bottle for 8 years. So this is actually from 2015. Oh my gosh. And to your previous comment, you know, this would cost in Champagne, you know, a ton of money to get an 8-year or 10-year-old Champagne would be a lot of money.
But not here.
But not here. So it's like you get very close to the quality, very reminiscent of it for a much better deal.
Really? So is that something I can go to? Like, where do I buy that?
What's the ballpark too? I gotta.
Well, yeah, I think it's
without the restaurant markup. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I can't tell you all my secrets.
Oh,
but,
darn.
Yeah. On our list, it's around $150.
Okay.
And you know. We source things, you know, it is an agricultural product, so a lot of people we work with, we have to kind of work with them as they bring it in. So it's not kind of everywhere. We have to sometimes give them a heads up, say, hey, we'll take 2 cases of the 2015 Sergio Motura. But I think, you know, some people I can maybe...
I want 2 cases of Sergio.
Okay.
How about you?
Let's keep going down the line here.
All right, so
what do we have here?
It's like beer.
Yeah, right? This one's a fun one. It's called Pet Nat. So basically, it's a much more rustic kind of farmer-style wine, but still traditional. So this is from Emilia-Romagna, which is in the north of Italy. And this is a tradition that they would have whereby instead of going through a kind of elaborate process of tank to bottle, out of bottle, back in the bottle, they're just going to go ahead and put the wine with a little bit of either sugar or the grape juice in there, which finishes the fermentation and carbonation in the bottle. So it's a little foamier, it's a little more lively.
So is that orange wine we hear so much about?
A lot of times they will give a little skin contact to kind of like round out those flavors. So it's less expensive, it's more fun. To me, that's just like, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what point of the meal you're at, go ahead and pop that. You're usually low alcohol, very refreshing.
Okay, so we could safely bring that, and most people who are going to a party this would kind of be a universally liked one, you think?
Yeah, and I think it'll also, you can drink it on its own, it'll go with, you know, meats and cheeses, it could even stand up to a meat at the end of the night too.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Cool. And finally.
And then the champagne, you know, you can't, it's the king for a reason. So people have been
turn that around.
Tinkering with champagne recipes and you know, styles for so long, but it really is, when you taste it, you know, good champagne is champagne for a reason. So I would just say, whenever you're looking to buy a sparkling wine, the champagne houses often have a very consistent style. So if there's one that you like, chances are you'll like that one again. Some of these other examples, you know, they're meant to be examples of the place, and they might have little changes from year to year. But champagne houses really want to be able to market and kind of like establish themselves having a very specific
In
style.
case you haven't got your tickets for New Year's Eve, their places still have some. So hurry up before it's too late. To my favorite restaurant.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, great
Thank you for the expertise and inspo, sir.
Yes.
All right, still ahead for us. Jake is going to give us a look at his top movies of 2025. So keep it here.
Welcome back. As the year comes to a close, we look back at everything 2025 had to offer, including the movies.
Jake Hamilton joining us now with a recap of his favorite movies of 2025.
No, guys, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for you.
Thank you.
I got you. I know, because I know you got pen and paper and you're writing this down. Yeah. It is my yearly tradition where I look back on my favorite films released over the last 12 months. They're the movies that made me laugh, that made me cry, and reminded me of why I love sitting in a dark theater with strangers and just getting lost in a great story. I'm going to count down my picks for the top 5 best films of the year, starting with number 5. Coming in at number 5 is Surat. It's a Spanish thriller. It follows a man looking for his missing daughter, who he's heard might be at a rave in the middle of the Moroccan desert. He hears from some ravers there she might be at a different rave deeper in the desert, so he decides to follow them. And what follows is the hell that descends upon all of them during their journey deep into the desert. Surat feels like you're descending into hell in real time. It's relentless, disorienting, and soaked in dread.
What the hell going on? Oh, we heard tale of a party. This world already left you for dead. I can save you from your fate.
You don't need no saving.
Yes, you do. And you are? I am. Your way out. Don't cry. It's all better now.
Coming in at number 4, Sinners, a perfect example of how the horror genre can be one of our sharpest social tools. Beneath all of the vampire terror here, Sinners uses the genre not to scare, but to shine a light onto our world. It turns fear into a lens on race and power and survival in modern society. Every unsettling moment has a purpose. It's horror that lingers because it is rooted in our world. Sinners is now streaming on HBO Max.
We're talking about 17 kids in one classroom. I want to know what happened in that classroom. Why just her classroom? Why only her?
They're our children. I love those kids.
This is a true story that happened right here in my town. A lot of people die in a lot of really weird ways in this story, but you're not going to find it in the news.
Coming at number 3 is Weapons. Movies that ask big questions. Like, for instance, why all of a sudden did kids in one classroom get up in the middle of the night, spread their arms, and run away? Those movies only work if the answer is satisfying. And with Weapons, the big answer is an all-time classic. Instead of collapsing under the weight of its big mystery, the reveal elevates the story into the upper tiers of horror films, giving us a final act that will be talked about for years and could be on its way to a big Oscar win. Weapons, now streaming on HBO Max.
The universe is large. And it contains multitudes, but it also contains me.
Coming at number 2, The Life of Chuck, a little talked about, highly underappreciated Stephen King adaptation. The Life of Chuck is quite simply a beautiful film about a less than extraordinary life. And it's not about a life that's particularly special or noteworthy. It's a love letter to a man who just lived a normal existence, and why there's nothing wrong with that. The Life of Chuck is a quiet miracle of a movie. Instead of asking you what your life added up to, it asks you, what did your life mean? It's a truly beautiful masterpiece I hope more people discover in the years to come. The Life of Chuck, now available on video on demand.
I wanted to protect you from all your mom's stuff. My stuff, even though I know that's impossible.
This is the end of the line.
Not for you.
Coming in at number 1, my favorite film of 2025, One Battle After Another. This movie feels like a great American epic in the truest sense. It is vast in scope, intimate in emotion. It's wildly funny and also deeply aware of the country that it is reflecting. But what makes it special is how timeless it feels. This movie could have been released in 2025 or 1975. Writer-director Paul Thomas Anderson has created an old-school giant of American cinema that manages to thrill and think at the same time. It's sweeping without being sentimental, urgent without being preachy, and powerful because it understands that America is not defined by a single victory, but the battles that we keep on fighting. One Battle After Another, streaming now on HBO Max. If you'd like to see my entire top 10 of the year list, head on over to fox32chicago.com or follow me on Instagram at Jake's Takes.
I got to catch up.
This is what I'm here for. Well, it's that time of year, right? Where you kind of look back and you go, oh my God, all the things that I missed.
And then you need to let me know which ones are going to be Oscar nominated.
Great list.
One battle after another, it's done. Game over.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Final check of your forecast. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. Injured.
That was World War II veteran Dominic Critelli playing the national anthem. He's 104 years old. And the crowd at the New York Islanders game went wild after his performance. He spent more than 150 days in combat during World War II. He earned a music degree from NYU. That's impressive.
85, what is it, 80, more than that?
I don't do
Putting
math,
that music,
that's a lot.
that's a long time later to
Yes.
be still applying that music degree.
Impressive,
What
very impressive.
a performance. And you gotta, Kayla, you got to have strong lungs.
Yes, you do.
What
Be
I
able to
was
hold
thinking.
those notes.
Yes,
Oh,
so impressive.
amazing.
How fun was that?
Special.
All right, live look outside, something that's not so special, the forecast. It's going to be very cold today, and we have snow moving on in. Some minor accumulation possible today. Right now, we're seeing flurries from Chicago, points south, Lake County, Indiana. You might be getting in on some flurry activity as we get to our western areas like DeKalb County, Kane, Kendall, Grundy County. That's where you have some moderate snowfall coming down now. Watch out for slick spots. It's going to be cold enough that we could have some icy conditions out there, especially on untreated surfaces. 25 degrees is our high today, tomorrow 31, down to 23 for New Year's Day. Back to you.
All right, Caitlin, thank you so much. That is going to do it for us here at noon. We hope you will tune in for our news at 4, 5, and 9 o'clock. And if we don't see you before then, have a great New Year.
All right, Happy New Year. See you later.
Ewing, it is so good to be with you.